I feel like I'm not even going to talk about me. I feel like I should be compensated enough by the company and taken care of the same way I've represented for the UFC for as many years as I've been here. I feel like I should be taken care enough by them to where the sponsorship shouldn't even matter to me if they were giving me nothing. You know what I'm saying?
You know, I understand why the UFC, you know, signed with Reebok. It kind of legitimizes the sport. I mean, if you look at the NFL or NBA, they all have one major corporate sponsorship. You know, Nike sponsors the NFL. They all wear NFL, you know, gear. And, you know, it's good and bad. For the top people, I think, like Misha and the people who have already a giant name, I think it kind of hurts them because they're pulling some really good sponsors. You know, they were standing out among everybody else in the UFC as far as, you know, just as far as fame or whatever, and sponsorship could see that they were standing out, and you know, we're rewarding them for that. And now that the UFC's putting everybody kind of on an even platform, I think it pulls those people down where they're not sticking out so much.
You know, I'm not sure about it because I don't know what the scale of pay is for us. You know, I definitely know that, you know, the market's changing now for our sponsors and how we're going to have to go about it. You know, I think getting sponsors now, it's going to be outside of UFC stuff. You know, UFC has no problem with us having our deals outside of the UFC, but you know, it's we'll have to see how it plays out.
I mean, if I'm going to get paid, you know, 100 grand every time I fight, then I'm like, hey, Reebok's good. If I'm not, then it'd be like, Reebok's not so good. So it's one of those things. If you know, if you're making, you know, really good money, if you're making at least over 6 figures, you know, on the upper echelon for sponsorship, then you're probably doing okay. Because there's some guys I know that would be like, hey, I got product today. Then they're like, yes, Reebok product and 500 bucks, awesome. Like, but you know, for somebody like me, for some guys I know that actually do really well in sponsorship, it's because they're a character and they do things outside of, you know, the realm of the UFC and use the platform for what it is. It could be really good or it could be really bad. I think it's one of those things you have to wait until you see what your dollar signs and your bank account says.
So the sponsorship with Reebok, I still have to, I feel like I don't know enough about it to like formulate too much of an opinion, but I feel like there definitely probably should be some balance between, you know, rankings and draw. You know, because rankings aren't always accurate. You know, sometimes, you know, the number 3 person has half the draw that the number 5 person does. Like sometimes it just works out that way. And I feel like, you know, a big part of our career is obviously fighting, but the other big part of it is entertainment. You know, that's what we do. We get in there and fight, but we get in there and fight to entertain. So I think that really they should probably balance it on, you know, both ends of the spectrum.
Mixed martial arts is about being an artist. It's about being individualized. We're not a team sport. You know, the NFL, the NBA, that's a team sport. We're not a team sport. And so that kind of sucks in that aspect, you know, because it takes away a little bit of individuality. And I think that's what makes MMA so interesting, is seeing all the characters.
You know what I'm saying? Look at the boxers. They got one sponsor in their short. And they're probably paying them out because it was so worth it, because they don't even need a sponsor, you know? And we're a global sport. This is the biggest sport in the world. You go to a Pacquiao fight or Mayweather fight, humongous. I don't know if it sells more tickets, which it probably does because it only happens so often. But with all the fights that the UFC has here, I know they're making more than Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao money, but that's unheard of. Probably gonna be taken out for even talking like this.
I've researched it, and you know, we really don't have a choice in this matter anyway. That's the way I really look at it. The first thing I do is I assess the situation when I get something like this, and I think, okay, what can I do about it? Nothing. So what's the best thing to do? Stay positive and trust in the people that built this organization to be the fastest growing sport in the world, and just follow them. What other choice do we really have?